So here is a nice little sunny patch. It's very productive in a couple different species. First, let's go with the sand digger wasp right here, that you can see is actually excavating her hole. There's some males and so forth flying about above it. Here's another female's digging. You can see her flicking the sand back. These are stink bug specialists. So what they do is they actually sting the stink bug and bring it down into that hole, and then they lay an egg in it. So this one's still building the little chamber, and there are several holes about, so this is some other ones that are either they're occupied. The ones that are flying over top, it's kind of hard to see, like this guy. That is a guy, that's a male, and it can't sting, males can't sting, but it's patrolling in hopes that there's an unmated female that he can cross with. So he's got his hopes up, but it looks like so far there aren't any females around. But if we go over on this side, maybe I'll get lucky and it's still here. There are also some very large ones, and those large ones, oh, can't see them now, there they are cicada killers. And cicada killers are much, much larger and very intimidating looking, gigantic wasps. But again, same difference. They're docile, much like the sand digger wasps are. And these, you can see, even shyer. They fly away very, very quickly. And again, the ones flying up and about that aren't in the holes are males, like what probably this guy is, guarding and so forth, hoping for a female to come by. And while the other guys, the sand digger wasps, specialize on stink bugs, these guys, well, the girls really, are the ones who specialize in cicadas. So, we just saw somebody come by its territory, and now is trying to figure out if there's an enemy or a female potential mate around here. Now it's going to come back to its perch. But again, we have both species here. We have the sand digger wasp, like this one, which is excavating, and we have the cicada killers, which are fewer and farther between, but much, much larger. Cicada killers specialize in cicadas. That's what their young need to survive. They don't feed on them, but their babies, they lay their eggs on them inside the hole and let the baby feed on it. That's what they need for protein. And these guys, and as a matter of fact, look, actually has a stink bug. The populations on these guys have exploded, and it is probably due to how many of the invasive marmorated stink bugs we have. And because we now have so many of them, we now have a big population of these guys. And people get scared because they're in almost all of our sand lots and volleyball knots. But this one already has the hole in there, but he's covered it up so that no parasitic flies and other animals can get in there. Going to open a door again. Some of it seems to collapse on it. And then it's going to drag that stink bug in. That's paralyzed. It's not dead. And once it does, there it goes. It'll put it in the back, lay an egg on it, and that's its larder. It's still alive and be nice fresh food for the sand wasp to then have its young grow. And again, it has to have sand. Well, here's another one that just landed. And look, it's still stinging. It is still stinging the stink bug. Still trying to paralyze it. Trying to find its home. Can't quite locate it. Trying to figure out where it is. But again, he's stinging it and stinging it, trying to paralyze it. Look, there we go. It's big. It's a big haul. It's very hard to carry. You should see the cicada killers. They really have a hard time with the with trying to carry their big, much bigger, of course, cicadas. And there, it found its hole. It needs to open the door. Once it gets a few things off the front of it, it'll be able to open the door and be able to then carry its young to the its food stored to the bottom, lay an egg in there, and then starts the next generation of sand digger wasps. You see, I'm flicking the sand back. It'll soon hit an area. Now it's open. They can crawl on in. Still see it'll drag the stink bug in just a moment. How cool is that? Again, these are very, very docile. You see I'm right next to it and so forth. I put my finger right over top of it. Look, nothing. It'll dig out. But guess what? Not aggressive. Not going to hurt me. This just to show you just how peaceful these little beasts are. Sand digger wasps and cicada killers all making use of this big sandy spot that we have next to one of our playgrounds, which is unfortunate because that, of course, is what scares people into thinking we have these dangerous animals when they're just single moms trying to take care of their young. Sand digger wasps, cicada killers, all part of insect specialist wasps that feed just on certain insects in order to be able to raise their young.